Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sacred Knights podcast. I am your host, JF Richards, and for today's episode, I will talk about the legend of the Sacred Knights, the very book that helped me start this podcast. It's best I start telling you about the very story that I wrote and the upcoming adventures I have planned. The Legend of the Sacred Knights is a fantasy adventure set in the mythical world of Metazona, a world filled with mystery, magic, danger, and ancient power. And at the heart of the story are the Sacred Knights, Lycanwolf, Barris, Kestra, and Leazar, the four heroic warriors who stand up against the forces of darkness and combat them to save their world. And an interesting fact is that it's not just their world they also protect. They also protect the people of Earth as well, in ways that they don't really understand completely yet. When I started writing this story, I wanted to create something that had the sense of adventure and wonder. The feeling that there is always something more to discover. I wanted to have heroic journeys, powerful villains, meaningful struggles, and a world that feels bigger than what we see now. A lot of what I love about fantasy is present in the story is courage, friendship, destiny, mystery, and the battle between light and dark. Those are the kinds of themes that always stood out to me as a reader, and they're part of what inspired me as a writer. Today I will be talking about more about the story, especially since it means so much to me. It's a story about fantasy and adventure and a desire to create a world that people can remember. The best part about this world is it's full of various places that have very interesting dynamics. Each tribe consists of the wolves, the eagles, the lions, and the bears. Each one represented with a specific element, whether it be water, fire, wind, or earth. My four heroes are actually four human teenagers from Earth who discover the gateway into this world, and they take up the mantle of the four legendary heroes that once saved Metazona a long time ago, and the threat of an evil being threatens the life of all worlds. Each character has different traits that define them, and what defines a hero is not what they can do, it's what they choose to do with it. Like my characters may be heroes because they have powers, but it's what they use those powers for that makes them true heroes. Each of their weapons has very unique magical abilities that can help them fight evil. Everyone who wants to see this world simply has to read the book to find out. When I started writing the story, I really enjoyed the sense of adventure that was out there, especially because I started writing this book during the COVID pandemic. Because I thought maybe I could write a story that can inspire people to reconnect with the outside world when the whole thing blows over. And so far, I've gotten a lot of people interested in this story. And so far, it has gotten really good reviews and a lot of positive feedback from my friends and other people I've sold the book to. Even some official reviews, which I happen to have on my website posted at jfrichards.com. Many people will want to learn more about the story. Like if there are basic questions are, does your character have a dark past, or is there a dragon, or what is the legend that inspired them? And mostly, when it comes to writing stories, sometimes you gotta learn to add more depth to a character. When you write a character, you have to envision them as a specific person you think they should be. And when he wrote my main protagonist in the story, I envisioned him as an extension of myself, and adding on traits that compare him to me in a way he's the most people don't fully pay attention to. And my other her characters, each of them are based off of people I know in real life. One who actually embraces one of the characters to a T. And there was always more to expanding on the lore. Because the one thing I always tried to make sure I did was to at least explain the rules of the magic. Such as how travel between both worlds works, or how to use their powers and know what limits that it entitles them to, and try and understand other unique abilities and connections that you usually have to associate with said animals. Like there are even some traits that I even incorporated into other or her characters that haven't been fully developed yet. And a part of their journey is incorporating in the wonder and adventure that they're about to embark on. Because within the pages of this book, you'll find much more to see. Because even though I published it as an indie author, but I've actually had my book properly edited and formatted by actual professionals, even one who happens to be a film director and a scriptwriter. So he taught me many things about how to write a story, and incorporating how to write it properly. Because simply coming up with a story, it may be easy. Because think of a story as a block of clay. With time, patience, and more creativity, you can shape the clay into something much, much more. And sometimes you could even add in things that might actually work better. But always try to be careful on who you're going to give this book to. Because when I wrote this story, I wanted the story to be able to be read by so many people. I didn't want it to have to be just restricted to just teenagers. In fact, I actually have a few readers. One of them was only 7 years old when she read it, and she loved it. And there's always going to be more to it. Because other than the podcast I'm doing right now, I will also be discussing other things, such as I'm also currently working on and developing products with official artwork from the from my book that I'm working on, along with potential work on an audiobook and the potential of a film someday, if it ever happens. But you always should know that a good story takes practice. Because even my story has much more to show. Especially because I have at least 2 more adventures, and I even have other stories that I've been working on too. A lot of them incorporate many things that I enjoy about what's in books. And yet, I do wonder, what other stories could people tell? Or even, what could I do to inspire others to take up writing themselves? Well, thanks for joining me on today's podcast. And I am JF Richards, and this is the Sacred Knights podcast, signing off.